Hey dreamers and doers, everybody pushing for the best version of you. Welcome back. You've seen the video now of my Costco haul, and now I'm going to prep everything. Remember, there's two things we're trying to accomplish. One, we want to stay consistent. So we want to have everything ready so that we can just eat what we plan to eat every day and be very consistent day over day. Now, I eat the same 5 meals Monday to Friday. That's the way that I like to do it. You don't have to do it, but when you've got food ready, it's going to be easier for you to just grab that out of the fridge and go. Second thing is, this is part of a plan. So I've already decided how many calories I want to get this week, what my macros are. Now I'm just going to prep the food and put it in the fridge. So if you set yourself up for success and you make this really easy, this whole thing is going to be about 2 hours of my Sunday. So I've got this down so that it's not taking a lot of time. So I want you to think of Simon Cowell. I want you to think of Mark Zuckerberg. These are two guys that are super busy, busier than you and I, but what they do is they wear the same thing all the time. They do that to cut down on their decision fatigue. So when they wake up in the morning and they just have to grab that gray sweater or that black t-shirt and they know what they're going to wear for the day, that's one less decision they have to make. Allows them to be consistent and focus on the things they want to focus on. With meal prep, that's one less decision you have to make all week long. Just grab your food, eat the food that you plan to eat, and you're going to get to your goals. So let's get straight into this and let's show you how it all comes together. Some tools that you're going to need. I've got a scale. Okay, so I don't weigh everything down to the gram. If I'm competing, then I would, but I'm not. But I do want the portions to be in range and know what I'm putting into each meal. So I'm going to show you how to do that and do it easily. Okay, I've got my chicken, which is going to go on one of my pans so that I can stack the oven. I've got my ground turkey, which is going to go into a pot with the rice cauliflower. Then that's on the stovetop. And lastly, I've got my steak, which is going to go into my Instapot. So I've got everything cooking simultaneously. I'm going to load the oven with chicken, with sweet potatoes. I'm going to load the Instant Pot with my steak. I'm going to have on the stovetop my turkey and my rice cauliflower going all at once. Saves you a ton of time. The only things I'm going to leave out for right now, Brussels sprouts and my asparagus. I'm going to hold off on those, and also my egg whites. So I'm doing it in a batch with all my meats, and then the second is going to be my egg whites and my vegetables. So let's get cooking. Got to keep everything clean. Very important, parchment paper. You don't have all the cleanup afterwards if you use parchment paper. Parchment paper. Use parchment paper, less cleanup. Here's another important tip with your chicken. Okay, so I put the chicken in plain. So I don't put any spices because I would put the spices on the chicken. Half of the spices would end up all over the pan. The spices just don't taste as good on the chicken, I find. So I cook it plain and then I add the spice at the end. The other reason is because I'm gonna cook a couple of these for my pups. So I give them a couple of chicken breasts throughout the week. I just cut it up. I have it in the fridge. Those are special little treats for my doggies. So I keep it plain for that reason too. So add the spices at the end and you'll actually save your spices. There we go. Chicken breasts ready to go into the oven. Okay, next, let's get our steak ready to go. So we've got our steak. Okay, this is where the scale comes in handy. So I do want to portion my steak. Want to get about 5 ounces of steak is what I'm after. I like that these are strip loin because it makes it easy to cut them, try to get the right. So I've got my knife. That was a little of the kung fu trouble in my kitchen. So let's grab one of these steaks. Let's cut a portion that I think is about 5 ounces. Okay, let's see how I did. So that's 5.4 ounces of steak. So now I can just take my piece and use it to measure the other portions and count out 5 portions for the week. This is 5.4, looks good. I'm gonna cut and use this one to cut. Real simple hack, makes it easy to get your portions without having to weigh everything that you're putting into your meals. For my Instapot, if you do not have an Instapot, it's gonna change your life. I've got this, which I've put just a little bit of water into the bottom. Then I'm taking my beef stock, concentrated beef stock. I'm just gonna add a little dab. You don't need a whole lot. And then I'm gonna put my portions of steak into the Instapot, turn it on, and you can walk away. The beef comes out so tender, it's delicious. Stays that way all week long. You don't even need a knife to eat your steak. You just use a fork. It's beautiful. So I have my steak in the Instapot, ready to go, portioned out. Just gonna walk it over. Put it on. Here we go. One touch of the button, it's ready to go. I'm gonna go watch some PGA Tour Championship. This is how I prep. I've got turkey on the stove, chicken in the oven, steak in the Instant Pot. It's all cooking, it's taking no time at all, and I'm gonna go watch some golf. Now here's the tricky part. You start to juggle it all together. So, super simple tip. I took my sweet potato, I've cut it up. I've got about 9 slices here. So when I go to dish it out, I know that one sweet potato is about 9 slices. So it makes it easy to portion it and make sure that each of the 5 meals that you have has about 8 to 9 portions, and you know you've got one of your sweet potatoes you've chosen. Okay, so here we go. We have the sweet potatoes ready to go in the oven. I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of sea salt. It's the only spice that I put on these. And there we go. We've got sweet potatoes going in, chicken's in here, beef's already cooking, ground turkey is almost ready for the rice cauliflower. Here we go. Into the bottom rack. So there we go. We got 2 things cooking in the oven, one on the stove top, one in the Instant Pot. Boom. Booyah. Padow. That's how we do it. Efficiency. So I'm gonna let that cook. We're almost ready for the rice cauliflower into the ground turkey, and that meal is gonna be close to done. Then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna prep my veggies, but I'm gonna go watch a little bit of golf right now because it's Sunday and I am relaxing. Meal prepping shouldn't be stressful, shouldn't be something that you don't wanna do. It's a nice way to spend my Sunday. Prep some meals, watch some golf, and the best feeling is when all the containers are ready and I put them into the fridge and I am ready for the week. I am ahead of everything and I know I'm gonna stay on track. Okay, so the chicken is in the oven, steak is in the Instant Pot, and the riced cauliflower and turkey is on the stove. It's cooking. All that's almost done. So I've taken the time to just cut up my Brussels sprouts, add a little steak spice to them because I do like salt and pepper basically on my vegetables, so that's an easy one. But my chicken and my steak and things like that, throughout the week I like to be able to decide, do I want a Greek spice on it? Do I want a barbecue chicken spice? So I add it into what is already on the vegetables, and that keeps the taste pretty interesting. So there's my asparagus all ready to go. I like the asparagus cut into tiny little pieces. I don't like to actually have to cut my food. Again, just more efficient if you can just pop it in and there's less work through the week. You're getting it done. So here is the last one. I've got my loaf pan. I've sprayed it with some olive oil. And I'm gonna take 1 egg, pop it in, boom. 2 eggs. Yep. 3 eggs. Yep. And lastly, 1 more egg. So I've got 4 whole eggs in here. And then I'm gonna break open the egg whites. So this is gonna be a combination of eggs and egg whites, and the last is cilantro. So I've already pre-chopped some cilantro. So I just put that, and this is gonna end up in the middle. So we're going to cook this and then we're gonna slice it so that you've got an egg white loaf to go beside your steak for your steak and eggs. It's delicious. Okay, so take the carton. So we know what is in the carton, so easily measured along with the 4 eggs. Here we go, just pour that in. Not quite full. So we are going to go with one more, and I'm going to get my measuring cup so that I know how much I'm putting in. So here's half a cup. There's 1. I think it's going to be a full cup. 2. So I know that I used a cup of egg whites as well as 1 full carton. So pretty easily to count the macros if you just keep basic track of what's going in. Again, not trying to be perfect, not trying to be down to the calorie or to the gram, but just have a general idea of what's going to be in the meal for calories and for your macros. This bad boy is going in the oven. So here we go. All of our meal prep is done. We've got 5, 10, 15 meals all ready to go into the fridge, ready for the week. What feels better than to be completely prepared and just grab your meals, add some condiments, some spices, whatever you feel like that day so you've got some variety. Add it to these meals because right now they're pretty bland, I'll admit that. But that sets you up for the week. Your meal prep is done. Here's a little pro tip. Make sure you empty the dishwasher before you start. Nothing worse than prepping all these meals than having a kitchen full of dirty dishes and a huge cleanup like you've just made a meal for 15 people. So all the stuff that you're prepping with goes straight into that empty dishwasher. So when you're done and everything is packed up, your kitchen is clean as well. Saves you a lot of time and keeps you out of trouble. So keep dreaming it, keep doing it. Go smash the week, reach your goals. Nutrition is 90%, consistency and planning is the other 10%. Go get it done. Be the best version of yourself.